Tom Taylor continues with the revelation from last issue and dives into the universe's Martian Manhunter and his origins, using it to set up the White Martians as the main threat for the heroes to face over the final 2 issues. While the whole 3 kingdoms coming together to fight a common enemy is an extremely obvious thing that would happen, I do like that Taylor played with the fact that all 3 kingdoms were directly affected by these White Martians, since all 3 of their original rulers were killed by them, so each party has equal skin in the game, which isn't something that usually happens with tropes of people coming together to fight a common enemy. There are still some questions I feel need answers, though I don't think, being that we only have 2 issues left, we will get, like what the deal is with the Green Lantern power ring that Luthor had, since it's heavily implied throughout the story and in this issue that it wasn't actually a real power ring and it was just Protex using his telepathy to talk to Luthor and make him think he had power. And then to make it even more confusing, Protex then takes that ring, wears it, and wields the Lantern's power. So it's very confusing how they're using the Green Lantern and the power rings in this universe. Nevertheless, I am excited of all the mysteries that were playing throughout the book have been concluded this issue, and we can get right into the action of the final 2 issues. Yasmin Putri again treats us to some stellar looking artwork focusing on characters' emotions over the issue as Manhunter regales them with his origins. I loved her design work for Manhunter recounting his story and how in the first panel we see Manhunter facing the left to tell the story, to push it forward, and then when he finishes it he's on the right of the panel, visually signposting that the story between these 2 images is finished, it's had a beginning and an end, it was set in the past, and it's something I've never seen a flashback being done in before, and I thought it was quite a neat way to do it. Dark Knights of Steel issue 10 was a great character-focused issue that united the many characters of the series against a common enemy and brought focus to all of the plot lines for the final 2 books. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Dark Knights of Steel issue 10 finds the 3 armies stop their battle as Wonder Woman confronts Alfred, who has been revealed as the Green Martian. Bruce stops Diana from hurting him, telling her that not everyone different is a monster. Diana demands that he move, but Beast Boy in his dragon form confronts her, demanding that she hold off. Prince Cal arrives with Diana's lasso, giving it back to the woman, who uses it to restrain Alfred, asking if he means them harm. Alfred, under the will of the Lasso of Truth, says he means no ill will to them or anyone else, and he is loyal to Prince Cal, his sister and mother, and he could not love Bruce Wayne more if he was his own son. Constantine thinks that they should stop, reassess everything now, but Diana reminds him of what his suggestions have wrought so far, motioning to the fields of the dead and dying soldiers from all 3 armies. John knows that the new queen of the Amazons is right, and he cannot escape how poorly he advised his king and queen. Queen Anissa raises the point that they were all pawns to something greater, Constantine included, as her revived brother Jacob appears. Anissa runs to hug her brother, ask how he is even alive since they buried him. She knows though, demanding Constantine tell her what he has done. Queen Lara suggests that before they discuss anything more, they tend to the wounded and the dead. She welcomes the other queens into her city, despite General Waller's protests, to talk about the true enemies to their kingdoms. Later on, Zala goes to see Diana, who is mourning her mother's death. Zala tells Diana that Alfred is now ready for them, and everyone is waiting for the new queen. Diana hates being called that, hugging her partner. Diana goes with Zala to join the others in interrogating Alfred, who assures them that he cannot use his powers while in the Lasso of Truth. Alfred reveals that his true name is John Jones, but Harley interrupts them, saying that there is someone who wishes to see them. Ivy marches into the room, understanding that the planet is in danger. Lara didn't think that Ivy left her forest, but as she proves, the forest comes with her, covering the throne room floor with flowers. She says that if the world is threatened, then the world should have a representative in the room as well. John continues his story, telling the 4 queens about his homeworld and his family, but the people were divided into green and white Martians, and while they existed in relative harmony, a white Martian named Protex believed that the greens were inferior, so using the Martians' telepathic powers, he united the white Martians and enslaved the green Martians. A civil war soon broke out, but since the greens were not warlike people, they were vastly outgunned by the white Martians. The green Martians were great thinkers though, and they devised terrible weapons with with great destructive power that wiped out most of the White Martians. Protex still fought on and decided instead of enslaving the Green Martians, they would just be exterminated. John remembers telling his son that they cannot go outside and play as their mother appears. John knows that it's not his wife, since she died long ago, but it was too late as the White Martian pretending to be her reveals his true identity, killing John's family and the other Green Martians hiding in the tunnels. John cradles his dying son, hearing his final thoughts be of him begging to be saved. John knew he couldn't save him though, and soon he buried his son in the red dust that became their planet and abandoned the world, coming to Earth. He reveals that the Waynes knew all about him, but the King and Queen ask him to keep it a secret. Diana asks why he would do that, and Anissa knows that is because the prophecy is of aliens taking over the world, and it included a reference to a green man. Ivy asks how many White Martians survived, and John believes there are fewer than 20, but Protex is among them, and he will be the one behind all of this, and he will enslave the world. Anissa thinks that Protex almost succeeded in his plan to topple the three kingdoms, but Lara knows that in doing so, he has driven the kingdoms together, and they could be united like never before. Diana says that she knows who is behind their plan now, and they will not be able to hide from her. Alexander Luthor meanwhile asks his ring what they do now. The green power ring tells him that he need not worry, since he has no role to play in the coming events. Alexander is confused, not understanding, but the ring tells him that they cannot allow so much power to be held by a man who believes inanimate objects speak to him. Suddenly Protex appears behind him, ripping Alexander's arm off, tossing him to the ground and taking the power ring for himself, telling Luthor that he was just a tool for a time of subterfuge, but that time is now over.